Joining us now to talk more about the province's fall economic statement is political analyst Keith Leslie. Big picture, Keith, what's your take on today's mini budget?
Well, most of it was already previously announced. All the big money for hospitals and long-term care beds and nurses and PSWs and the $15 minimum wage has all been previously announced. So that leaves our main focus out of today's mini budget as the big infrastructure, which includes 2 new 400 series highways, and the new staycation tax credit, which is aimed at helping motels and hotels recover from the pandemic.
Of course, the province goes to the polls in June. How does this budget play into their re-election strategy?
Well, it's going to help the PCs portray themselves as good fiscal managers. First of all, revenues were up $11 billion more than projected in the spring budget, and the deficit is down by that same $11 billion. So that's really impressive. And they've also going to say, you know, we have a firm post-pandemic economic recovery plan based on our infrastructure spending, and I think that will appeal to a lot of voters. And of course, there's new highways in the 905 and North Toronto suburbs. That's going to appeal to voters in those ridings as well.
Let's touch on that some more because the province has allocated $2.6 billion towards infrastructure projects, including, as you mentioned, those 2 controversial projects in the GTA. Those are ridings that have stayed Liberal in the past federal election. Is that a coincidence?
Absolutely not. They are absolutely targeting. They need to get those ridings back into the PC fold by next June if they have any hopes of getting this government reelected. The people in those ridings, a lot of them do want those highways, so this is exactly what they're aiming at. And of course, developers will love those highways, and developers are the biggest funders of politicians in Canada.
Well, Premier Ford campaigned on a promise to cut corporate and income tax cuts in 2018, and yet there was no mention of a tax cut in today's mini budget. Did that surprise you?
Actually, it did, because Premier Ford himself seemed to tee it up a little bit earlier in the week, and he said, you know, he would be keeping that promise. So I suspect we absolutely will be seeing it in the spring budget.
All right. Thank you so much, Keith. That's political analyst Keith Leslie.
Thank you.